Welcome to FreeMMOStation. I'm Skylent Shore, and this is my review of Free-to-Play, a free documentary. You can download it for free on Steam, or now watch it for free on YouTube. It follows 3 competitive Dota 2 players as they compete in the biggest tournament, $1.6 million, $1 million going to first place, as they try to win this prize, and all the sacrifice that it takes, and, you know, all the fun of playing the game, of course. But really, this documentary is actually really dark.
FreeMMOStation.com.
So, in fact, how dark is this documentary? Well, I would say that the overall tone of the documentary is actually extremely sad. But that's not a bad thing. It just shows a lot of honesty and a lot of humanity in this documentary. It follows 3 players extremely closely. Now, not Friday Night Lights kind of closeness, but it's actually really good. The cinematography, the questions asked, the things that they showed, they're really portraying these players very well, I think. And they're really not showing them as players. And of course they do show that. They show their tendencies and what they do in the game. But really, they're showing them as people. And I very much enjoyed that. Like I said, very human aspect to this documentary. And when I said it was dark, well, it shows that these players, they really have to make a lot of sacrifice, not even just in the competitive sense. Of course, they have to give up pretty much everything to compete in these games, but even just playing the game, it shows how much time and effort they would put. And, you know, the reasons behind that, and of course, it's a very sad story, and some of these stories actually hit very close to home with me, and I'm sure a lot of other gamers, they have reasons why they play these games, and it's probably going to hit home with you too. And of course, if you are an aspiring competitive gamer, or if you do something like me, where you do gaming professionally but not competitively, still, it's in the same scene, it's probably going to hit home, and I have to admit, I even cried at a few parts in this documentary. That's how good it was, and it has a happy ending, but also, it's sort of like a sad ending, and it's a little bit melancholy. So, the documentary, it is sad, it is darker, but it's still definitely worth a watch. Absolutely. It's so well done in every aspect, I think. It's also really informative. So one thing that I really liked was that there was information given out that the Korean teams, and you get to visually see this, they show this, where the Korean teams are sort of worshipped. Like the gamers in Korea are rock stars. And then you go through the different teams, and as we pan over to the western side to America, you see the parents and how they react to the idea of competitive gaming, or even just playing games, period. It seems that, you know, we're looked down on. And as an American gamer, of course, that totally hits home. I totally understand this, that football, baseball, things like this, it's so much easier and safer, you know, financially to get into, and easier. But gaming, it's such a hardcore group, and it's a hardcore scene, and it's very risky because you have to win. You don't really have salaries. You don't really have any sort of safeguard. A lot of people quit school, and in fact, one of the characters have to completely drop out a semester in order to go to this final tournament. It shows what kind of sacrifice. In the name, of course, free-to-play, it's not just a relation to that the game Dota 2 is free-to-play. It's actually sort of sarcastic because the game's not free-to-play. You have to put in time, effort, and a lot of money in order to be good. You can go to these tournaments, and all the things that you sacrifice, in the end, it's not free. So I'm really glad that this documentary showed that, and it was sort of a wake-up call, and I'm sure it's a wake-up call for a lot of other people, but at the same time, I bet it's a calling. I bet some people want to be like these gamers, and in the documentary, they are portrayed as pioneers. These people, they're probably playing selfishly, you know, they're playing for money, they're playing for fun, they're playing because they want to do it, but at the same time, they're doing a lot of good, actually. They're bringing gaming into the spotlight, which it slowly has been doing with all these different competitive games coming out, League of Legends, Dota 2, everything blowing out, and soon it will probably be a mainstream sport in America, and it'll be a mainstream sport and everywhere. And that's a good thing, but right now, it's still in a dark place, and this documentary shows it, I think, honestly and perfectly. So, definitely worth a watch, especially considering it's free to watch. Please go check it out. Again, I'm Skylent Shore with FreeMMOStation. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the review.